But in every occupation, there are ethical issues. How do you deal with those? Well, there are 4 ways of dealing with ethical challenges. One is commands. They all start with C, so it's easy to remember. Well, like the 10 Commandments, categorical imperatives. So you know, if you're going to be stealing, you're not doing the right thing, okay? So there's clarity in many of the commands as to what we are to do. Secondly, there is consequences. It's called the teleological approach to ethical decision-making. What is the outcome of this? Does it really bring good to people? Greater good than not doing it, for instance. Now, the Bible has some very interesting consequence-type examples. For example, the prostitute in Jericho, Rahab lied to her countrymen as to whether she knew where the Israel spies were, hid them, and then got them to escape and sent her own people off the other way. Why? Because of the end in view. She could see that God was in the Israelites coming in. And therefore, in Hebrews chapter 11, that prostitute is a hero of faith. What about Abraham taking his only son up the mountain to offer him? You see again. So there are really complicated things, even in the Bible, about teleological or consequence. The third part is character. And now today there's a strong emphasis on virtue ethics. That means that if you have the virtues of faith, hope, and love in you, that you can make a good decision in a complex situation. And the last C, remember, commands, consequences, character, and communion, which means you walk with the Spirit. And He guides you, sometimes to make decisions that people don't fully understand. But there are almost no situations in the work world where you don't have ethical challenges. Right, and so those are shocking examples in the Bible where Rahab did not tell the truth, disguise the truth, in order to actually proclaim a larger truth. Now that's the point, isn't it? That's the difference between a white lie. Though it's quite interesting, even in English literature, there's such a thing as the saving lie. That is, a lie told in order to protect somebody from disaster. And I don't know whether you want to call that a white lie, I don't know. But I think that the teleological approach to making ethical decisions, which we have 2 examples in the Bible, one is Rahab and the other is Abraham. And we learn from the New Testament that Abraham said to his servant going up the mountain with his son Isaac, "We will go up to worship and we will return." And the New Testament says that he knew that God was able to raise Isaac from the dead. But he was willing to obey God, doing that extravagant and seemingly wild pagan thing of offering up his own son, and was stayed, and there was a ram provided as a substitute. I don't think we should say white lies are justified, but I think you can say that there are situations where for the greater good, for the end in view, we may not actually, as Rahab didn't, we may not actually tell it like it is, because we want to tell it like it really is. Okay? I don't think that's quite the same thing as justifying white lies. I think white lies are normally ways in which people don't tell the truth in order to avoid discomfort for themselves. I don't think they have a teleological or end view in mind. I think they're basically ways of saving yourself some discomfort.